A lot of good stuff.
I'm
all right.
number one.
All right. So. So we're just going to talk about a lot of different things, and I mean, I think the best thing, as you guys know, it's really about what you're interested in. One of the first things about this release, there's a lot of different die concepts. I think that's what I wanted to bring new to the table. The first one, of course, from a steel rule perspective, is a die called Frameworks, and Frameworks, they come in a lot of different designs, but this pattern is going to be a repeat pattern. And when I talk about a repeat pattern, I mean that the shape or the design inside is a repeat, but the outside frame is also a repeat, meaning if I cut a second one, I would stack that and flipping it, and I would continue this pattern. If I put it next to it, I would continue the pattern. And all of these do exactly the same thing, even down to the chevron, okay? What makes this more unique though is it's a steel rule die. So steel rule die means I can cut this out of a variety of surfaces. I'm not limited to just cardstock, just paper. And what is most exciting and why, I think this is such a revolution is that to have a steel rule die that's going to cut a repeat shape, that's pretty intense because these are all handmade. So unlike a regular thin die, those are all chemically etched. So it's done by just a machine doing this. This is somebody actually all the Sizzix dies are made that way. It's cool. Yeah, they're all hand done, but we came up with a jig that allows them, when they're bending this, they can bend that exact same shape and then put it into the die. So what this will do, like for example on a card like this is going to give us that ability to glue down the frame, okay, because that's the frame it's cut out of grunge board, then cut different surfaces, chipboard, grunge board, this is ideology mirror, you can cut cork, you can cut fabric, and all of those pieces that you get, you can plug back in when you want, right? So I can say, okay, I want to push these anywhere I want, so I would run this through with a collage, I'd run it through with different materials, I could leave some areas open. Another great thing though is like something like this. So this is where I would take the framework, if I were to cut, lay it onto my project, glue in all of my elements, and then remove the framework, use it as a template. And then I can continue that pattern and build my tiles and everything's perfectly spaced. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's just a different way to use your dies. So let's take like a piece of mirrored. With these new scissors that just like, these are. Yeah, if you love the snips, they're exactly the same. So everything you cut, your plastic, your fabric, your ribbon, now you've got just a much bigger cut with that. And really, I did this not only for fabric, but because of the dies. Because when you start wanting to color block in your dies, I just found that it was kind of annoying to go with my little scissors and always cut little squares. I don't want to get out my paper trimmer, so that allows me to do it. So I'll lay this down. We'll put this in the vagabond. I'm just going to cut some mirror out of this. So this is just going to be our cutting pads. Put that in. All right, so here's our framework. So our framework, of course, is going to cut the frame, but it's also going to cut all those pieces. So when I was creating, like, for the card, I just started cutting framework, stuff out of mirror, stuff out of cork, stuff out of grunge board, and then you end up with a bunch of tiles, right? So yes, you can still use this mirror frame if you want, but you'll always have these little element pieces that you can use. And I think what's cool about that, we'll go in, I can peel this off because mirror is adhesive backed. I just have to use my fingernails that I don't seem to have. There we go. And if I wanted to stick this on a surface, let's fill in the blank, shall we? I can pop that right in. And when we put that in, I'm gonna go in with my fingernail again and I'm gonna remove that film. So whenever you're using the mirror, you always wanna make sure that you die cut it first, apply it to the surface, and then pull off that plastic, and then you have that perfect sparkly mirror. Pretty cool, so I like it. What's funny is like it's even the frameworks that makes people go, that mirror stuff, is that new? But it's a new, it's something else different. You think that's what I could use mirrors for. Otherwise, maybe a lot of people wouldn't know what they would ever do with it. All right, so that's frameworks. Another cool thing while we're talking